Good afternoon, Amari.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. We've asked you before about the turnovers as an offensive group, but you've been through so many quarterbacks here lately. Are you looking forward to getting Andy back and maybe having the same quarterback in place for a few games? And do you feel that consistency offensively will kind of help you get back to where you, at least closer to where you were earlier in the season?
Yeah, the more we work with Andy, the more comfortable we feel with him. I feel like as a collective, we're getting into a rhythm with him, and so hopefully that carries over to the game.
Amari, what is the key to getting back into the rhythm after you worked with different quarterbacks in the interim?
I would just say practice and repetition. Every rep we have to take serious, from routes on air to team drills.
We've asked you this just about every week, but turnovers have obviously been a big issue each of the last 8 games. Is there anything y'all are doing differently, or just the same working on fundamentals to try and eliminate them?
No, nothing that we're particularly doing different, but we are constantly working on fundamentals, handling the ball, taking care of the ball, things of that nature.
Maury, you're obviously not new to the locker room, but I was just curious, given all of the procedures and the social distancing and different dynamics of this season, how has it been to come together as a team, to come together with individual teammates in this new climate that everyone's going through?
Yeah, I just think it's all about adjusting and adapting to any situation. And yeah, it's been a little bit different, obviously, with the restrictions and protocols and everything like that. But I just know with me, I'm just willing to adapt to any situation, so that we can accomplish our goal as a team.
I swear I didn't think about this before I asked, but can you get a good chess game in still? Is that possible?
Yeah, I still play.
Amari, what have those position group meetings been like with some of the enhanced protocols? And do you know, will they be fully virtual, or do y'all have enough space to keep doing it like around the Ford Center with the setup we saw?
Yeah, I think with the facility we have here, it's big enough for us to social distance. I know being able to come from another team that all facilities aren't this spacious, and therefore you have to do some other things like virtual meetings and whatnot. But since we have a big enough facility here, we have enough room to social distance in different areas so that we can still meet.
You were so explosive early in the season with Dak. Do you think you still have the capabilities in offense to be that explosive in bursts, maybe not as consistently, but in bursts? And what would it take to get back to that point?
I would just say just to do what we've been practicing. We're still running the same plays and everything, but everything starts with the quarterback. So to be explosive, obviously we have to make those plays downfield. We still have the same receivers. Schultz doing a good job. So we just have to do what we do in practice. I mean, in practice we look good. It just has to transfer to the game. That's it.
How similar is the Vikings defense that you're preparing for today compared to the one that you faced last year?
I would just say, this year they're running a lot more cover 2, cover 4. It's pretty similar. They got a lot of the same players.
Amari, what would it mean to this team to get a road win, and how much more challenging is it to get that from your experience in the league? Did that change at all this year without the fans?
Wait, say it again?
What would a road win mean to this team right now, and how much more challenging is it to win away from home, and does that change at all given there aren't going to be fans there, I believe?
It would mean a lot to get that road win. Obviously we haven't won a game, period, in a long time, whether it's been home or away. And I feel like all wins in this league are hard to get, but they are a bit harder to get on the road, just because the environment is different. And it'd probably be a little bit easier with them not being able to have a stadium full of fans. So, yeah.
As a player in the position meeting room, is it different learning when the classroom is so spaced out like it is now?
No, I wouldn't say it's much different with the players being spaced out as opposed to us not being spaced out. I mean, we're still, watching film and listening to our coach. I mean, maybe we may have to talk a little louder amongst each other to communicate with each other because we're spaced out, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily harder to learn.
Anything else, guys?
Amari, what was the across the hall experience for you on Monday? And can you tell us some of what y'all discussed with the defensive coaches or which coaches were in the receiver room?
Yeah, I think that's a really unique experience. We get to have another perspective on the way that we view our position. And that perspective is coming from the guys we get to go against every day. And I think it's cool to understand what they're looking at. And I think it helps us a lot because now when we go into games, we understand what the guys we're facing are taught, what the things they're looking for. And I think we can counter that once we learn those things.
So you're across the hall with the DB coach or the defensive coordinator. Who are you hearing from the most?
Yep, the DB coach.
You've been on different teams and different staffs among those teams. Have you done anything like that before in previous seasons?
No, I haven't.
Did you guys do it in training camp too? I think, unless I'm misremembering, I think that was mentioned. Did you guys do it in camp as well?
Yep, that was the one other time we did it before, yeah.